Hello?
Marty! You're awake! Good!
Doc! Emmet, where are you?
I'm down at the Expo. I snuck out early to avoid my pop. If he knew I was about to make a publicly scientific spectacle of myself, he'd hit the roof.
Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried to give you a nudge before I left, but you were practically comatose. How long has it been since you slept?
Aside from being knocked unconscious, I'm not really sure.
Anyway, I left you back at the lab to perform an important mission. On the table next to my law books, there's a device plugged into the wall.
I think I see it.
Is it glowing?
Yeah. Is that good?
Good? It's fantastic! The glowing means my static accumulator is charged up and ready for action. Bring it down to the high school and we'll... Damn!
What?
It's Edna!
But... Okay, Emmet. One static accumulator coming up. Jeez, Doc. Watch out. You almost ran me over.
Sorry about that, Martin. This vehicle is sometimes difficult to control.
Yeah. Hey, are you okay? After that argument about Emmet last night...
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
So, how are the time circuits?
Still broken. I've got a few ideas, but I'm occupied with other problems today. So is that what I'm destined to build for the Expo?
Yeah, it's a static accumulator. Emmet spent all night building it. Turned out he didn't really need to see Frankenstein after all. He just needed a little push. And some lightning.
Fascinating. I also had an epiphany last night.
Doc?
I realized that it wasn't Edna that made my life miserable.
Doc!
It was science.
You can't give up science. You love science.
Correction. My younger self loves science. But if Emmet doesn't go through with a demonstration at the Expo, his dreams of being a scientist will dim just enough for Edna to step back into his life and steer him down another path.
Another path? What other path?
I don't know. Architecture, automobile repair, taxidermy. Maybe I'll even pursue a life in law like my father always wanted. As long as Emmet steers clear of science, Edna and I will be free to be happy together.
You can't want Emmet back with Edna. She used you to turn Hill Valley into a police state.
She used my science to turn Hill Valley into a police state. But if I don't become a scientist, she'll never get the chance to vent her crazier ambitions.
Doc, I'm begging you. You haven't thought this through.
Haven't I? I guess we'll both find out. One thing's for sure, Emmett Brown's life will be a whole lot less complicated without a time machine in it.
No! Ah! What the hell? Where'd it go? Oh, come on! Here, little static thingy. Gotcha!
future is coming today. There's a shiny new tomorrow on the way. A day of invention is at hand. It's a mystic, futuristic wonderland. Just around the bend, my friend, you'll see a dream or two. If you care to dream and dare to dream, your dreams can all come true. There's a world of wondrous wonder on display, because the future is coming today.
Not bad, eh? Not bad at all, but I thought you fired her. I found a loophole. What kind of loophole?
Just a loophole. You're not the only one who's allowed to have secrets, you know.
All right.
Say, don't you have to get that whatchamacallit to Emmett Brown's booth?
Huh? Oh, yeah, right.
Because the future is coming. It's almost here now. The future is coming. It's getting clear now. The future is coming today.
And here he comes, right on cue. No doubt he'll try to talk you out of it, Detective, but you mustn't let your resolution waver.
Hello, Corleone.
What's she doing here?
Well, Miss Strickland here seems to think,
You should step aside and let the officer do his duty, now.
Wait a minute, that's Emmett's levitator up there.
Oh, don't be so modest. I'd say you deserve at least half the credit. It was you who tricked poor Emmet into breaking up with me. It was you who manipulated him into dropping my project in favor of this clear hazard to public safety.
It was my plan to get him back to inventing what he should be inventing. What's your point?
Oh, I think you know exactly what my point is. Emmet's invention isn't going to work, is it? At least not the way poor Emmet thinks it is.
how do you know this?
I had a very interesting chat with Carl Sagan last night. I found out who Michael Corleone really is, and where he comes from.
Is there something you want to tell me, Michael?
Why don't you call him by his real name? Yakov Smirnov.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
An anarchist! A foreign agitator bent on sowing chaos and destruction in the Hill Valley Expo!
Annie, you don't believe any of this bullshit, do you?
Sorry, Yakov, but I really don't have a choice.
Very good. And now, arrest this subversive.
Come here. Look, here's the thing. I happen to believe this dame's got a screw loose, but she's been getting some clout in town ever since that business with Kid Tannen.
But Emmett's gotta fly that electrokinetic levitator at this demo. His whole future depends on it.
And my future depends on making sure he doesn't. The chief reads her column religiously. Well, if I don't do what she says, she's gonna start a campaign to have certain tainted officers removed from the force.
Isn't there anything I can do?
Not unless you've got some dirt on Edna. Something that'll discredit her in the eyes of the law. Well?
I'll dig something up.
You do that. In the meantime, you and young Mr. Brown better... where is he anyway?
Wait, you haven't seen him?
Emmet? Has this foreign radical done something to my Emmet?
Maybe you should find him.
Oh, you're letting him go? This radical subversive? Just like that?
Okay, so I gotta find Emmet. And do something about Edna. Hi, Trixie.
That's techni to you, kiddo.
Right. Congratulations on getting the old job back.
Thanks. Justice triumphs in the end, you know? Now what can I do you for?
So, which exhibits do you recommend?
The most popular attractions are the Glass House, the Future Furnishings, and of course, Enlightenment Under the Sea. You know who that is under the diving helmet? That's Jacques Duteau himself. Of course, you need to get tickets if you want to see the main attractions.
How much are tickets?
Aw, put your money away. Here, we're kind of like family now, you know?
Thanks. Thanks.
Happy to help.
Enlightenment awaits you.
Excuse me, Mr.
Duto, Jacques Duto, at your service.
I'm looking for a friend of mine, Emmet Brown. Tall young guy, reddish-brown hair.
A distracted look.
That's him. Any idea where he went?
He just passed by here with an older gentleman. I think they were headed into the House of Glass.
Great, thanks. Hey, Emmet, come out of there. Don't listen to him. Perfect.
Welcome to the Atlas House of Glass, the future of domestic life.
Okay, Emmet, let's get you out of here. Emmet! Emmet, don't listen to him. He's crazy.
I'm still not sure about this business proposal, Mr. Sagan.
Let me explain it again.
Atlas Glass, unbreakable and soundproof.
Soundproof glass. Great.
Our living space can be configured to meet the needs of any family. Need a private study? Simply slide the walls in, or slide them out again to create a spacious banquet hall.
This is more complicated than it looks. When I moved that first wall, I opened one passage, but I blocked another. Something's blocking it. It won't slide open. I moved that first wall. Emmet? Where'd you take him now, Doc?
Greetings again, mortals! This is Techne, Muse of Progress. Hoping you're all having a swell time taking in all the exhibits. Don't forget, you can purchase tickets to our main attractions right here at the information booth.
This plant doesn't belong here. There's nothing futuristic about it.
Greetings, forward thinkers of Hill Valley.
A potted plant? What's this got to do with law enforcement?
A potted plant? What's this got to do with law enforcement?
It's a bug.
No, a plant. But it's got a wire recorder hidden inside, see? If we could have got one of these into Tannen's speakeasy, and if he's the kind of guy who talks to plants, we could have busted him a lot earlier.
Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for a tall, thin, older gentleman. He might have been with a tall, thin, younger gentleman.
I know just who you're talking about. Hey, just left, not a minute ago. If you hurry, you might catch them.
I know you're in there, Doc.
Doc? Yes, I am a doctor of marine biology, but I fail to understand what you're...
Quit fooling around, Doc. What have you done with
Stop! Help! I'm being attacked!
Michael! What are you doing? You can't assault the exhibitors!
You don't understand. He's kidnapped Emmet.
The boy's obviously confusing.
I'll say he is.
You want I should toss him out on his ear?
That won't be necessary. Do you know who that is? That's Jacques Duteau of the Oceanic Institute.
No, it's not. It's...
Please, keep it down. The Expo went through a lot of trouble and expense to secure Professor Duteau. We can't afford to antagonize him.
But
if you've got a complaint against him, we can straighten it out after the show. But if you make another scene like that, I'm afraid I'm going to have you expelled from the hall.
Where'd you stash Emmet? In the diving bell?
It's called a bathysphere.
Aha! So Emmet is in the bathysphere.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I'm going to take a closer look at that bathysphere.
Not without a ticket, I'm afraid, sir.
Hey! Is this guy trying to bum a free ride?
No.
See that you don't. Feels good to be on the right side of the law.
Take a ride in a bathysphere. Your bathysphere. I'd like to see the inside of it.
Can't get in without a ticket, I'm afraid.
You're not gonna get away with this, you know.
As they say in my country, que sera, sera.
Next up on our roster, a man who saw the possibilities in pond scum. Welcome, Ernest Philpott!
Thanks, Trixie, Technique. I'm truly honored to be here.
Here's my
today
ticket.
among all
I
you
want to see inside that bathysphere.
Like the lady said,
I don't think
labor
so.
in the field of pond
What do you mean? I've got a ticket. You have to honor my ticket.
It's a
It's
mysterious and little known
the wrong
biological
type
entity.
of ticket.
Through diligent
Sorry.
study and
Oh, give me a
countless
break.
hours of experimentation, I believe I have unlocked the secrets of this noble vegetable, and I am here to present
Hey,
my
Artie,
discoveries
what do you think?
to our
Quite a setup, huh?
escalating wild.
The Expo? Sure,
Algae
but
cakes,
I was
ladies and
wondering.
gentlemen, is the next wave in the agricultural revolution of the 20th
This ticket should get me into any exhibit on the floor, right?
Sure, that's a P ticket.
Well, the guy at the aquarium is refusing to honor it.
There must be some mistake. Come on, let's straighten this out. Professor Duteau, this young man claims you refused to take his ticket.
Not at all. I'm only too happy to take his ticket. Please, try the knife, and I will raise the bathysphere.
And bursting with delightful fresh flavor. I invite each and every one of you to come by my booth. That's booth A113 here in the main
Mon
hall.
Dieu!
And sample
What
that
is
algae
the matter?
cake on the
The
house.
gears, they must have become stuck. I am afraid I cannot raise the bathysphere at this moment.
What a shame.
Yes, it is. Well, I will work on the problem. Perhaps if you come back later.
Thank you, Ernest. Do be sure to drop by his booth and sample an algae cake. I have, and it was very interesting. I will be back later to highlight another of our fine exhibitors. See you soon.
Come down, please. Step back! You're clipping the hose.
What does it matter if there's nobody in the bathysphere?
It's very bad form.
Oh, sorry. Hey! I'm just gonna keep holding this air tube closed until you raise the bathysphere.
I wish you would.
Why not? There's nobody in the bathysphere, right? Emmet gets no air until you raise the bathysphere.
Emmet? Who?
Emmet, you! You ready to drop the act now, Jacques Duteau, a.k.a. Carl Sagan, a.k.a.
No!
You know what happens when the air runs out, to both of you.
It's an old nautical superstition. A crimped horse meets imminent doom.
It does if there's somebody inside the bathysphere, but I thought you said there wasn't anybody in the bathysphere.
There's not. I demand you uncrimp that hose.
Funny. You'd think it was you who was running out of air, not the guy in the bathysphere.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's as if you two were connected somehow.
Oh, the holes!
Raise the bathysphere, Doc.
I won't do it!
Then neither will I.
So long, years, they have become unstuck.
There, see? It was just a malfunction after all.
Let's get you out of there.
Emmett Brown? Then it was true. Hey, you.
Hey, he just took that guy's wallet. I think he took his wallet.
Oh, remind me not to become an oceanographer. I guess I must have a touch of claustrophobia. Never should have gone in there.
Well, we've all got problems. Now, you'd better get back to your booth
Funny
before...
thing is, I don't even remember going in there. Last thing I recall, I was in the glass house talking to Carl Sagan. Did you know he's really a scientist?
I'd heard. What did he say to you?
Oh, he had some sort of spur-of-the-moment business proposition. It was all very rush. I never got the details. It would have meant leaving before the expo was over, so I told him that... Say, where'd he go? Do you know?
Carl Sagan? He had to leave. One of his experiments blew up on him.
No, I know how that is. What's this?
Oh, yeah. Edna made Detective Parker shut down your booth. He says he can't go against her.
Oh, yeah?
Unless we dig up some dirt that'll discredit her in the eyes of the law. So that's what we'll do.
The next exhibitor on our list is Officer Danny Parker of the Hill Valley Police Force. Officer Parker is going to demonstrate a few of the many marvelous tools that our boys in blue will soon have at their disposal. The criminal element has truly met his match today. Officer Parker? It seems our next exhibitor is unavoidably detained, but I'm sure his presentation would have been both enlightening and exciting. How about a round of applause just for the heck of it?
Welcome to the phone booth of the future, made with Atlas glass. Atlas, unbreakable and soundproof. Our phone is hands-free, so you can enjoy a sandwich or a cigarette while chatting with friends in perfect privacy. Would you like to place a call?
Yes, I'd like to talk to...
Unfortunately, this phone booth only accepts incoming calls.
Okay, call me a snoop.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow, where a man's home is truly his castle. Here, gratification is just always a push of a button away. In the house of the future, phone conversations will be completed in the privacy of the personal phone helmet.
Hey!
Please recite the phone number you wish to dial, or say hang up to terminate your phone helmet experience.
Klondike 4253.
Hill Valley Expo, where the future is coming today. This is Techni Muse of Progress. To whom am I speaking?
This is Carl Sagan.
Ooh, the mysterious Mr. Sagan. What do you want?
Can you put Edna Strickland on the phone for me?
Sure thing, Mr. Sagan. Hey, Strickland! Somebody actually wants to talk to you.
Mr. Sagan, what happened? I thought you were distracting Emmet.
Was? Oh, yes, of course I was.
Then why is Emmet standing here, valiantly trying to convince Detective Parker that he should be allowed to go through with this ever-so-dangerous display of wrong-headed technology?
What can I say? I was outsmarted by that wily Yakov Smirnov.
Well, that puts a crimp in our plan.
Yes, our plan. About that plan. Regarding, you know what?
You know what?
The little matter we were whispering about yesterday.
Oh, that! As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought it up. I was thinking, wouldn't it be a good idea to pin it all on Yakov Smirnov?
Pin what on him exactly?
You know, it! Oh, I get it. You're still sore about going to jail. That was the dog's fault. If he hadn't come galumphing up to me right after I started the fire, I could have gotten clean away, and I never would have had to divert suspicion to you.
She's the speakeasy arsonist.
Carl, is somebody with you?
No, it's just you and me. You know, I don't think I ever asked you why you burned down all those speakeasies.
Why? Because no one else was doing anything about them. Every night they'd open up their doors serving illegal drinks and loose women, flaunting their depravity to the world, and the authorities did nothing. So I did what any right-thinking, rock-willed woman would do. I took action. Oh, and such a gorgeous action it was, too. The fires were so beautiful. The alcohol made them go up in such pretty blue flames. Where was I?
You were explaining why you burned down the speakeasies.
Yes. Did you find my answer to your liking?
It was very revealing. Hang up.
What?
Jeez, Edna was always a loon. I hope that confession's good enough for Parker.
Hiya, folks. It's me, Techni, Muse of Progress, gracing you once again with my presence. And speaking of presents, what better gift could Hill Valley offer the world than this magnificent science and technology exhibit? Hey, folks? If you haven't done so already, I urge each and every one of you to take a peek at Furnishings of the Future, right here in our main hall. Tickets are available from me, Techni, at our information desk.
I don't think I ever asked you why you burned down all those speakeasies.
I think a lot of people are going to be interested in that answer.
Oh.
Hey, Danny.
Do you mind, comrade? I'm busy trying to keep Emmet from letting you lead him into the biggest mistake of his life.
Mistake? My biggest mistake was...
This will only take a minute.
Our plant recorder. It's not a good idea to steal police property, you know.
Listen.
You know, I don't think I ever asked you why you burned down all those speakeasies.
Why? Because no one else was doing anything about them.
Edna? You're the arsonist?
Detective Parker! Surely you're not going to believe this crudely manufactured forgery of a recording.
I'm not sure what to believe, ma'am. But based on this crudely manufactured forgery, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to come down to the station to answer a few questions about your whereabouts on the night of the speakeasy fires.
Emmet?
You're on your own, darling.
Oh, very well. Heavens, what's that?
You know, one of these days I should really stop falling for that.
Not to sound callous, but does this mean I can demonstrate my invention?
Let's take that as a yes.
Greetings and salutations to all our honored guests. I am Techni, Muse of Progress. And it is my pleasant task once again to highlight one of the great minds who was hard at work building a better tomorrow.
I think that's me. I'm next on the roster.
But are you ready?
No, I don't have a choice. Did you bring the static accumulator?
Oh, right. Here you go.
Great. Come on, let's get up there.
Kid has been hard at work dreaming up gizmos and banging them together in his garage. And who knows? One of this kid's gizmos just might take off and change the life of everybody in town. Could it be the very thing he's brought to share with us today? It wouldn't be the first time the world was changed by a kid barely out
That
of
ought to do it. Are the block bearings all in the raised position?
Block bearings. Block bearings. Raised position. Check.
Then it looks like all systems are go.
She was only 19.
Wish me luck.
So hold your snickers.
Don't have to.
And to be wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Emmet Brown.
Objection! Objection, Your Honor! I hereby demand that the scientific demonstration of one Emmet Lathrop Brown be terminated and forfeit by reason of insanity. I declare him to be in contempt of me, his father. Where is he? Hand him over this instant! The longer you hold out, the hard... You don't think you can shelter him?
Come on, Mr. Judge, sir. You're kind of making a scene here.
Wrong. I am stopping my son from making a scene here.
Don't antagonize him.
Well, if you're not going to say anything...
So he is up there with you.
Thanks a lot.
Son, I order you to come down from there this second. I counting to 4. I want to speak to my son.
Emmett's not ready to talk to you directly.
Oh, God. I suppose you're his mouthpiece?
I guess so, yeah. You can't talk him out of it. His mind is made up.
So, if talking won't work, there's always threshing.
If I can say so, sir, the problem is you're coming on too strong. You intimidate him.
I don't intimidate him enough. That's the problem.
Can't you two have it out later?
You mean after he's gone through with this ridiculous stunt?
Yeah?
No!
Stay right there.
I'm not going anywhere. You dare to disobey a direct...
Emmet.
I'm not talking to him. There's no point.
Maybe he'll give you a fair chance to explain yourself. He is a judge, after all.
Yes, a judge who's already passed sentence. He won't listen to me. He never has.
I'll be right back.
So, is your client prepared to make a statement?
He says it's no use talking to you. You never listen?
That only shows how pig-headed he is. Of course I'll listen. If he can justify his craziness, I'll be only too happy to indulge it.
Stay right there.
Fear!
Emmet.
I'm not talking to him. There's no point.
You heard him. He said he'll listen to you.
Well...
At least give it a shot.
Father?
Son?
You've never understood the first thing about me. All you want to do is step on me, squelch my natural instincts. You don't know what it's like to be young. You don't know what it's like to have dreams, have ambitions so great and so powerful that they've got a life of their own. And it's all you can do to hang on for dear life while they gallop where they must. This is America, Pop. And in America, a person doesn't have to do what his father did. Isn't that why you came to America? To live where there wouldn't be so many rules? Well, we talked. Are you happy?
Emmet?
Here to play peacemaker again, Pollyanna?
I don't know. I think you two are on the verge of a breakthrough. please, you gotta get out of Emmett's way.
I have yet to hear a compelling or even coherent reason why.
See, Your Honor, it's just that this demo is so important to Emmet.
A childish kerfuffle. He'll forget all about it in 2 weeks' time.
That's what I'm afraid of. Emmett's just...
stubborn, willful, single-minded, incorrigible, and obsessed.
Okay, but if you look at it from the right angle, those traits are kinda... good.
That may be your angle, Sonny, but I'm not so sure it's the right one. Make no mistake, those are traits that lead to trouble. He gets them from his mother.
Look, Your Honor, you don't see it, but there's an awful lot riding on Emmett's demonstration.
All the more reason why I've got to put a stop to it. Look me in the eyes, young man. I expect you know my son pretty well by now. Do you seriously think his exhibition is going to be a success?
Sure. Sure it will.
Ha! You know as well as I how it'll end. Disaster!
Maybe, and maybe not, but even if it does, I mean, isn't Emmet entitled to make a few mistakes?
Emmet has exceeded his quota for one lifetime. It's my job as his father to see to it there are no more mistakes.
Emmett's just trying to make a name for himself. Maybe things were different when you were a kid, but nowadays you gotta take chances.
What do you know about taking chances? Try moving to a strange country where you don't speak the language. There's only $2 to your name.
You?
You bet your socks, me! And I made out all right, too.
How'd your dad feel about it at the time?
Papa? He was fit to be tied. He called me a disobedient little...
So your father didn't approve of you coming to America?
Well, Papa never really understood the younger generation. He came around a bit in the end, but by then it was too late to. Tell him I'll listen to him. I want to listen to him. If he wants to talk.
Emmet? He says you get your stubbornness from your mother.
Well, that's the limit. He's not satisfied with insulting me. He's got to drag my mother through the dirt, too. Mother isn't at all like me. She's gentle and sweet and endlessly patient. If anything, I'm more like... skip it.
You were starting to say that you're like...
Skip it.
Can it be that you and your dad...
No. Next subject.
Emmet, stop being a dope. You've got your pride, okay, I get it. And so does he, but what's the harm in trying to make peace with the guy? He's your family, and family's important. Sometimes it's, well, even more important than we realize.
May I come up?
So, you think my new invention is a disaster waiting to happen?
Yes, I do. And I'm here to say, if any son of mine is going to make of himself a public disaster, I insist on being there to support him.
Bob, you're gonna change your tune once you see this baby go airborne. You see, the force field generated by the static accumulator... Marty, give Trixie the signal. We're ready for liftoff.
Oh, good. Ladies and gentlemen,